sorry. So this, as you guys know, is the old Civil War side. About a week ago, Elizabeth Styles' great-great-great-granddaughter showed up, right?
Oh, so cool.
So, well, she wasn't as pleasant, right? Yeah. She's like, yeah, I heard about this. I heard my great-great-grandmother's famous and stuff, and they live down in Texas, right? I was like, oh, so like the pressure's on, right? I bring her up here first, and I was like, we don't have the death ledger of where, like, what room she passed away in, but we have put a room together for her, right? So this is how the tour starts, as we do it, like this. I'm showing her the room, talking about her, and she's like, She walks in there, and she goes in, and she sees this, like, prop gun we have up. Now, she's a spy. She would have used guns before.
Yeah.
And she looks at me. I'm trying to gauge her, because I can't tell what she's really into. Like, I don't think she could have cared less about the paranormal. It was more like the history. And she's like, why is that gun in here? I didn't know what to say. I'm like, yeah, what do I say? Like, well, should there not be? And she's like, And then just walks, and I'm like, oh, God, that set the tone, like, the whole time, right?
So weird.
And, because, like, she obviously had that, so.
This is the room I set the digital recorder in last time and got those EVPs of just, like, a random person, a man, like, yelling. And, like, I checked, I was like, where was everybody? Nobody was over here. And somebody else had gotten, like, that same EVP that I was, like, talking to. And then when RC Paranormal came in and was talking about, because another group we were with, the one gal had said there was like someone like coming up and talking in her ear in this room in front of the steamer trunk. So I was like, oh, let me set it in here. Well, they come back through and then start getting people like talking, like one word things. So I was like, yep, they're looking for you.
It's interesting, even like with the layers, like, Dilbert Nixon was the superintendent here in the 50s, and his son is still alive. He has come up before to see the place, loves, the whole operation. He fills in a lot of stories, and I didn't realize it was like from the 20s to 40s, 45ish, his dad took it here in the 50s, they had the criminally insane on this wing, right? Which makes kind of sense, like the screams you may hear, stuff like that. All the women were locked in these rooms.
Yeah.
And then Dilbert came, unlocked them, let the women free room. There was never any issues, but I would have never known those stories, you know? So, but again, the time period we said is just for the Victorian, but then, after the Women's Relief Corps loses it, Department of Health takes over. They have the criminally insane on this section. Go a little bit farther past, like, from 80 to 86, police take the whole thing over. But this was like a historical society, so they were the ones that had more of the modern look. A lot of uses, though.
Yeah.
It's interesting. And then even adding the furniture, and I've told this, like, you get that domestic foreign haunt. None of this stuff was here. In the beginning, all these rooms were empty. They, unfortunately, the trustees, they were bragging about this. And I was like, I don't know why we bragging about this. They were like, oh yeah, we took all those old beds out there and we had a big bonfire. And I'm like, all the stuff you burnt, like all the like very cool beds, like a lot of them were still here. They had claw tub bathtubs.
Oh, I love this.
So all these 80 rooms were empty. But then you put this stuff in and you think, what's attached to that?
Yeah.
Correct.
Like, where did it come from? I don't know. Like, I get these things at antique places where they get donated. So, like, what's that do to the space?
Yeah, exactly.
It's all other layer.
Yeah. That's the seance room over there.
Yeah. Yep. Over here, cylinder bearings,
Yeah. So.
And then I'll show you where it just flooded a little bit. I got it all drained on the outside, but the only room that's got a little bit of drainage in it is the one back on the right here in the basement. Yeah. So when it floods, it comes under that door that drains there, comes in.
Okay.
I'm going to fix that tomorrow. But you still have this area here.
Yeah. Oh.
So yeah, when the school was here, 1847, just storage. Women's Relief Corps storage. It doesn't become interesting until the Marysville prisoners were put down here for the states and the nurses. And that's what Mark was telling me, that like there were about 13 women down here from the institution from Marysville. And there would have been like bunk beds in there, military style, bunk beds over here. They had their bathroom. That's just the old boiler there. And then some women here in this. And what's interesting, when you get this room fixed, some of the drywall just from moisture buildup had fallen in, but when you get that, but it's interesting, in that room, there's a bump up that goes up, and for the longest time I didn't understand until some of the police showed up, just like, they were just stopping by because it was 2016 to purchase, and they used to have this as their weight room in the 80s. And that's why for benching, the ceiling was up, and he's like, but no one used it. Like, all of a sudden, no one would come down here to use it. Makes sense now. I was wondering why there was like a bump out in the ceiling.
Yeah, yeah.
As you guys know,
Yeah, that's
we got
cool.
the working bathrooms here to the right. It set me back a little bit because I was getting the roof at Fairfield going.
Yeah, it's open now.
So fast.
Nice.
So we got this back. What happened was, and I don't know how this happened, probably over all these years, even with all the gutters, it still works, but there was water seeping underneath and it rotted the boards. So we put some moisture barrier up, put the flooring down. We'll get like another unit to match this.
That's nice.
But yeah. Yeah, that's what Jeff and Joe were helping with the other day.
Yeah.
So it would be nice to have this back.
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. Love
We're
the
actually
ceiling.
thinking from that on, maybe using the space, because we're always running out of space in the middle building for stuff, is putting tables out here.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
for the raffles and stuff.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you get more room, like just kind of, actually just I'm like, Joe, that actually might work.
Yeah.
You know, because everyone's walking through the building anyway. You just come
Yeah.
over here.
Yeah, and snake around for the raffles and stuff. Yeah. You could find a rope and tie them up, maybe.
I got a belt on too.
Oh, you need another notch in it then. Tighten it up.
As you guys remember here, the old laundry wing. And the buried room. Old drunk tank here.
Oh, yeah.
You guys can give me that tonight if you want to. Ghost bait, right?
Yeah, ghost bait.
Yeah. Yeah, like this happened when Ghost Hunters came out, and they never aired it. I don't know if I told you guys, like, so they did the extra filming. It was a terrible experience, like the whole show. I would have, it was the same time Dakota was coming too. I was just said, Dakota was in, I would have said no to Ghost Hunters, because that show, they're always like, dude, they have to come in and they uncover something, you know, it was miserable times. Anyway, I told them the story about the police department saying there was allegedly, some of the cops were saying the old sergeants used to mess with them, saying there was one buried in the floor. And the only reason we even talked about this section was there was like a ghost hunt one night back in 2018. This dude shows up, he's got like a wolf shirt on. You know the wolf shirts were like on the mountain and howling and stuff at the gas station? He's got this cowboy hat with feathers. Like, you gotta take it seriously, the paranormal investigation, she comes in, right?
No, I'm talking
And we
about-
told the story, and it just happened to just always stay here because they used to joke it was somewhere in this wing, right? So we just come in this room like, hey, we talked about it.
Or a guy.
He walks back into the
Copperhead.
middle building during this
Copperhead.
public ghost and he's like, you wanna know where that woman's buried? I'm like, damn, I'm all ears, dude. He takes me over here, and he only has his dowsing rods. He's walking around. He's going zigzagging, and then he gets to know that it hadn't been cut up yet, and he stands right here, and the dowsing rods go over. He's like, I bet you real money she's right here. So I'm like, I don't know what to say with that information. I'm like, thank you, sir. All right. Thank you. All right. So I told them when they came, now their production with A&E, they've got money, right? After they heard that, they wanted to do this like bonus footage of bringing in cadaver dogs, ground penetrating radar, all that stuff. And I was like, sure, go for it. I mean, if you're going to drop 30,000, I'd love to find out.
Yeah.
You know, so they bring in the ground penetrating radar from Chardon was a team. And here's where I thought they were faking it. I'm like, something just seems too good, right? I tell you a story and then you find all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
But the Chardon team, there's no way they could have faked this. I was in here when they were taking the machine around. They did the Civil War basement in here. It's just like a ruler machine, right? It's just pinging. And when they got to here, they pinged down, and it was like 3.5 feet down. Obviously more dirt's like filled in since then, but they go 3.5 feet down, and there's this, the radar shows like this circular football shape. And my stomach drops because I'm like, it's not a woman buried before. It's probably like a baby or something. You know, you just like thinking about babies and stuff. I'm like, this is not going to end well. So anyway, then they bring in cadaver dogs, and the cadaver dogs are sitting down right here. They do 2 separate cadaver dogs. Then they bring in the digging team. They dig here, and that's when they finally get down to 3.5. There's nothing there, right? So it's like weird. But then they brought in the Menor SWAT team with their dogs. So they went all in, right? There's like SUVs all in the back lined up.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, oh no. So they bring in their cadaver dog, and this thing is just like, it's a pit bull looking thing, and it's foaming at the mouth, and it's at the ramp. And one of the cops like holding it, and it's just stretched on its collar, and it's just focused right here, right? So we all get back into line. They let go of the dog. It comes running down so fast, it almost slides into the drum tank, rebounds. And at this time, they've been dumping that dirt here, right? It just sits on the dirt, pats twice, and looks right at the instructor. So I was like, oh shit, we got a cop dog hitting the hits here. I look like a serial killer at this point, right? I'm like sweating. I'm like, this, no. Anyway, grandstanding right there. And I was like, right about there. Cameraman's here. And the cop, Grant goes, what's that mean if your dog gets that? And the lady, the officer starts like getting out of the doorway, out of camera. I'm like, oh no. And she lightly whispers, we'd have to dump this a crime scene. And I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. Nope.
And my mind goes to like, for how long? Because we've got teams like that's a lot of money to refund.
Money, yeah.
And they all of a sudden scurry out there, and the showrunner's like sitting here. He's got his head down because they're already late for the next shoot. They like stayed later to do this. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to pay attention, but I'm like signing this stuff off. I'm like, what are we talking about? What is it?
Right.
Is this bad? Is this bad? Finally, the PA runs in, and he's like, Adam, you've been a great host. We had a great time, but we gotta go. And I'm like, whoa, wait, what? And by this time, cops are all leaving. He's like kind of intercepting me. He's like, you were great, but we gotta go. And I'm like, dude, some sketch is happening right now, right? It happened, the exit was so quick that within that 5 minutes, cops are already pulling out. No cop talked to me, right? You'd think they'd give you something like, hey.
Right.
So, like, I had a lot of time to ponder on this. It was 2019 this happened. Katrina Weidman and Heather Taddy came out for their show Travel the Dead, right? So I had a lot of years to talk shit and I have my theories. Like, they're also Pilgrim Studios, and we know like they've been not known to fake stuff. And I was like, okay, they were here for 6 days to film. On day 1, I told them this story. They could have rush delivered stuff from like cadaver sprays to do that. Like, because I even asked the lady, and she goes, in a perfect, you know, see what I'm saying? Like, maybe you had enough time to think of a plan. But then one of the cadaver dog ladies, she's like, no, you're in a perfect condition where like, if there was a body outside, weathering would take that away. But there's no weathering in here, so a scent could last a lot longer. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I told Katrina, I was like, I think they just got lucky with a hit here. Someone sprayed that knowing we got this weird anomaly. And then the dogs came and they would have never known the difference from the training spray to whatever.
Right.
So Katrina, she's like, well, I know people that were on that shoot. Do you want me to ask them? I'm like, that would be the answer, right? So she gets back to me like 2 weeks later. She talks to one of the head people in that production. She says, we're equally confused. We were told to just, from the network, stand down. Like, don't proceed. I'm like, really? Like, this is A&E. They do murder mystery stuff all the time. But they were told to just stop. You're done. And they never aired all that footage. Like, they did a whole different bit of that. So, like, that baffled me too. Why would you spend all that time and effort to never air it?
Right, exactly.
And she said, yeah, they're equally confused. He goes, the one person she talked to, in their times of doing all this stuff, they've never been told by the ups of the network to stop. So, yeah, weird. So... And most people are like, well, how come you didn't dig there? And again, I'm not a serial killer, but like if you were burying someone, you'd have the body here and you're digging the hole here. So the body's scent is being left right here.
Yeah.
Correct.
Right. Okay.
So then let's say the body sat here for a few days, you get this, then you move the body and it's like, however, 4 feet under, there's still going to be that scent here.
Right.
Because even when they did the ground penetrator, there's nothing here. This is just empty soil. So.
Yeah.
Could it be? I mean, I've heard so many theories. I'm open to all theories. I don't know. So, yeah. Weird.
Ghost Bait will figure it out.
Yeah, tonight's the night.
That's it. It's your, your homework.
You can go in there, you can sit
You
in
can
there.
go in there. Get in the hole, Ghost
Crawl
Bait.
around, do what you want. And it's funny,
Oops, sorry.
right over here is all the dirt. Because they wanted to fill that back in. They're like, we paid these guys to just put, they were going to like seal it all back up. I was like, no.
Like it
I want to
was.
put a railing so we can talk about it. That is the amount of dirt. When I told you they went
Okay.
down 4 feet.
That's a lot.
The hole looks small now because like the sand just keeps, or the soil is just,
Yeah.
But that is all extracted from that hole. And we were going to like
Crazy.
sift through it, but we also have ADHD. So
Yeah.
we're starving. Yes, is that right?
I think that's a requirement to be into the
Into the paranormal,
paranormal.
we have to have it.
And
Yeah.
some of us don't, but there's a
Yeah.
lot of y'all who do.
Yeah, it was like one day we were determined. It's been sitting there since 2019. Yeah, he's never got around to it.
No. Oh, that's so funny. Ooh, I like these colors. Oh, you're good.
Huh?
Yeah, she, she's taking it all in.
So for those that are new, don't worry, you won't get lost tonight. Just remember, like it's a horseshoe shape, and then the main stair will always get you up and down to all the floors.
Okay.
That may help. I
And there's
still
like
get
little
lost
maps too, like on the walls when you you see it. There's a little map right there too, so it kind of tells you are here. Like so.
That's my bathroom.
Yeah. So we call this here the map room.
Yeah,
because,
go in there. It's cool.
When the Department of Health was here, women with insomnia could be. This was like a 24-hour open room. So I tried to recreate it the way Mark Nixon's son told me. They had like an old Admiral TV in here, games for the women, couches and stuff. It would kind of make sense why we get some of the most disembodied voices in this area, in this room. One of the first disembodies I'd ever heard in the building was like right out of this area. It sounded like a little girl going, "Mommy," or just random, but like,
Oh.
Yeah.
yeah. But I was telling you guys earlier about the mirror room.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things where we were able to control where we could put it. I've noticed people's migration through the building as they're investigating, and there isn't much that goes on down here, right? So I said to Jeff, I was like, Jeff, all right, people really don't spend a lot of time in this area,
This room's
so
cool too.
let's close that room off and build the cube here. And I'll get some trim on this so it looks like a closet, but when you open it, you can disregard this. This is for like public events. And the only thing I have to change, I got to get like a special kind of mirroring for the floor.
Yeah.
But these are all mirrored tiles. Jeff put these in.
Oh, this is free.
You guys haven't seen this?
No.
Oh.
You didn't?
We haven't been here in a couple
It's
of
cool.
years.
Oh yeah, it's cool.
It's
We did
cool.
mirror scrying in December.
No way.
It was
Oh, yeah.
it was, and we had a trip rope around us.
Yes.
And like
Alright.
Ryan and I saw the same old lady, but then
Yeah, it's
Caden
cool.
and another Ken who's coming tonight, they saw different things. And like Caden even saw like someone standing behind him at one point, like a
way.
black shadow. I was like, I didn't see that, but it was still cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that room's like perfect for
Yeah,
that.
you can do whatever you want in here. People do Estes, EVP,
Yeah.
scrying now, all that to the list. That's cool.
Yeah, that's Ryan
Yeah.
from Trap Souls. He's like, let's go do some mirror scrying. I was like, yeah, I've
Yeah.
never done that.
Yeah,
Let's.
that's cool.
So, yeah.
Yeah, like Jeff and I were just messing around because, like, most people, like, you know, they say like portals and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do we create portals or are they already here, right? So we're like this, like, we could if it's possible. Like, we're creating one,
Right?
facing the mirrors next to each other. A
Yeah.
lot of weird experiences. If Jeff was here, he would give you weird stories. Like, he had taken a picture. He has it, and when he's in this picture, and the lights running here, and you can see about 5 dimensions back of like where you're at, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like on the 5th one, he's like waving his hand out, but on the 5th one, the hand is like in a little bit.
Oh.
Now, could it be pareidolia, you know.
Right.
It's weird, but I like the picture of my chest. That's weird. It's like the fifth dimension isn't responding the right way.
Right, it's behind maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, I didn't realize y'all hadn't seen that room.
Yeah,
That's
he was
the-
just starting it last time we were here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it would
cool.
be about, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how random stuff happens. We're on the back porch just randomly talking. You want to build a mirror room? Let's go do that. Let's
Right.
go to Lowe's right now. Maybe one day we'll have an elevator, guys.
You get your steps in.
Get your cardio in.
We don't need
Oh,
an
God,
elevator.
right? It never gets shorter.
This is Sarah's hallway.
The one thing I'm going to change eventually, I talked to the building department about this. When they delete walls like this, like Lakeland College was here in the 80s, so when you see these rooms that are wider, it's because they used to have the classrooms up here. But we can put those walls back to
Okay.
kind of get it back. I think that'd be
Yeah.
cooler because
Yeah.
we got large rooms like that. Like over there, it's doing the same thing.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
few of them up here that are
This
like
one looks
that.
like it was always bigger because I can't see a line.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
But-
the floor gives it away.
Right, floor's
Yeah.
gonna give away.
Yeah.
Like this one over here, you can tell they have two closets in
Right.
between that.
Yep.
But I was telling the team yesterday about this, is you got Sarah's room, and
Right.
I didn't put the carpet in here, this was carpeted. This is the
Okay.
only one here, right, that's carpeted. So in 2010, there was a sticky note on the door, and it said Sarah's room. And the owner's son was giving the tour, and they weren't into ghost hunting at all. He just goes, hey, there's some ghost hunters that say there's a little girl that haunts this, right? But then, you know, the more you're in this room and you're staring at it, like, this was actually two rooms at one time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So, is this Sarah's room? Or is this Sarah's room?
Yeah.
Or, because it's just weird, the whole theory on Sarah is like, like, that first team that came in, whoever, you know, said it first, we'd have to really see how they investigated. Because what if they were just like going by a REM pod or something and they're like, make it go off if you're a girl, but it's like on a delayed response.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was an attachment. Maybe they brought something with them that actually was saying Sarah and they
Yeah.
thought it was something domestic.
Yeah, that's a good point
There's like so
too.
many theories. There's another theory that like it could have been a woman with dementia because they had dementia patients here.
Right.
So are we talking to a 96-year-old woman that thinks that she's a little girl?
Yeah.
Yeah, or mimic. Like when you go to any property, I do this now when I go and I listen to owners talk. When you get any historical tour, there's only like maybe 5 or 6 people they talk about. And when you get these larger buildings that have had like, we've had over 200 confirmed deaths. We have to still look, there's more. But like, is it possible that even the 5 we're even talking about are even here?
Right.
So if everybody's talking about Sarah or talking about Elizabeth, like if we all died, we're like, yo, you want to be Sarah tonight? Because I was Sarah last night. Like,
Speaking
I'll
into
take Sarah
existence,
tonight.
I've said
Right,
yes,
that.
right, yeah,
that's
we're
another
doing it,
theory
we're
of like
doing it,
thought form,
yep,
right?
yep.
If we all, and I did the same thing when I first came here. I was like, oh shit, the little girl here. All right, Sarah. Didn't put any work into it, but I'm putting the energy into it. I'm talking to a little girl, and how many
Yeah.
other teams did that?
Right.
So it's like an egregore or a thought form.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know,
Split
but
personality disorder.
yeah. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I've had sensitive, and it was sensitive. You got to be like, you know, careful because everyone like sensitives. You know, some can be just really crazy. Some are interesting. I've had a lot say that they're actually dealing with something with multiple personalities that changes up. You know, and I'm like, that's interesting. There was this one lady. I call her Grandma Death. She came in from West Virginia. She's not a fraud in my opinion because after it was over. Like she's walking through like Yoda, dude. She's got this cane. And it's like she's just saying all this crazy shit, stuff that we wouldn't know, right? And it was the first time the crew had seen a psychic. So I said, don't cold read, don't give any expressions to this woman.
Yeah.
But of course we buttered up to her in 5 minutes because she was the sweetest woman ever, right? And we're like, oh my God, you're so amazing. And she's talking about Sarah here and all this weird stuff. But all these things she's hitting on, and then she goes outside. And I'm thinking to myself, how many people could Google this place and just know a story and go ahead? And then she's like,
Right.
sweetie, I had a good time with you. Can you get me Facebook so we can talk? And I'm like, oh my God, you're legit. Like, showing me to download Facebook and stuff. I'm like, yeah, you got no downloading here.
Download
Like,
it for me.
she was saying some interesting stuff. But even something we were talking about, what was one thing? Oh, what was it about?
Yeah, I'm
The
sorry.
babies. When I talk about the babies now, we've had a lot of other psychics come in. There was one lady that was crawling. You know, we see some weird stuff around here. This one lady is crawling on the floor. Where's my baby? Where's my baby? What are you doing? Just kind of like, just I'm like, all right, okay. But a lot of people, then she goes, I hear a lot of women asking where their baby is. I'm like, that's interesting. One of the creepiest things, though, related but unrelated, we do a Halloween trick-or-treat for kids.
I was
right?
I was really it was fun.
Yeah, it's fun,
It
and
was
you know,
fun.
kids are sensitive. There's some sensitive kids that come through, and this one little girl, she must have been maybe 7 or 8. She's hiding behind her dad. Her dad's like, "Tell the man what you told me." And I'm like, "Oh God!" Like, I know this is gonna be crazy. It's not a candy complaint because I know you got a lot of candy. And she's like shy at first, and she's like, now we blocked off the Civil War wing just because it's easier for the kids to get through this building and then down Laundry, so they don't even go to the Civil War side. And she said the lady in the basement of that building said thank you for fixing a pipe. The pipe had broken in there, and you got all the water out. And I'm like, I was covered in chills. Because when the castle sold this, the Civil War basement was flooded with water, obviously because of like, you know, septic problems.
Right.
Yeah.
We didn't, you know, for building, I'm not going to announce that, like, hey, it was flooded down there, we fixed it. That was under wraps. And this little girl, who I'd never seen before, said an old lady down there was thankful that the water was gone.
Wow.
And I'm like,
Gosh.
I told the dad, I'm like, she's gifted, she's gifted, keep
Right.
an eye on that. So, yeah, kids say
Wow.
really interesting things.
Yeah.
So, but the
I
one
got
thing
chills.
I know,
Yeah,
that one got
same.
me, it stuck with me forever. I'm like,
Same.
this stuff's real. The only thing I can say, like, out of 10 years of whatever this thing is, if you play the game, like saying it's a little girl, you get better responses. There have been times I've come in here to talk shit. I'm like, Sarah, you ain't shit. You're probably some 57-year-old dude, like pretending to be a little girl. Like mad shit talking at times. Nothing will happen. I can have equipment out here, nothing. But if I come in another day, I'm like, Sarah, look at all these toys. Very cool, very cool. I'll get more hits. You know what I mean? It's pure.
Yeah.
It's weird. Yeah, shit talking doesn't work here. So, and that has been allegedly known as a portal, right?
Right, exactly.
Oh.
So some believe like portals there. It's better to have the door open than closed. There's a lot of theories to it and stuff. Yeah.
Need to get a buggy like that for Justin and all his baby dolls.
Really? Oh, and this, I was thinking this is about what you were talking about. Yeah.
Right in there. That's where she got it.
Interesting.
Because I was sitting there on the floor and I could see something, like kind of blocking out the window. And she went in and there was something there.
Did we do a thermal too?
Yeah.
This
and
looks
the
so
whole-
different
the
in the
whole thermal
daytime.
turned out-
Like I said, this here when it was dark.
There's
So
something in that porch whenever we came up the steps.
on
One
the
of the best
porch.
shadow figures I've ever
Okay.
Out
seen
here.
was down this hallway. It was during, I remember
It was
the
like
day,
a
Friday the 13th, we had a public
Behind
ghost
that
hunt.
door.
I
Okay.
was taking a group out of Sarah's room. Nothing eventful in Sarah's room, right? It wasn't nothing crazy. Lightning is just flashing this night. It was like out of a movie, right? Every time the lightning would flash,
This would be where I would sit.
You're up at, right? There,
Looks
like
nice out there.
Something caught on fire, and I feel that's how close these lightning bolts were. We're coming around the corner, and I think they're like maybe 12
Yeah, he said that he saw like a shadow
and
figure at the end of
one
the hallway.
younger,
when they were
younger
doing
young
a
lady
tour or
said-
something,
He was asking a
yeah.
question. I kind of kept my head, I was listening, but I was just looking forward. We were walking, and we were going to go back down the base. So all I was trying to do was get to the stairs, and we're just walking that way. Lightning flashes, and for not even a second to a second and a half, it's really quick. This whole floor is lit, and at the corner, it wasn't in the bathroom. It happened so quick. It had to be like around the corner. There was a think of a black hole where light cannot escape. Like that looks like white compared to the black of how dark this is. And it's just around, like if I'm nearing it, its arm was hanging like this, its leg was like this, and it was there, and then it was gone. But where I would have said this is fake, like I would have called him with a probably like, dude, that's a projector, that has to be. It slid, like it didn't go like this. The way I was saying, it literally like if you were taking a like in CapCut, you do like a transition where you slide an image. It locked in its shape and it went like this, like perfectly still. I'm like, it looked fake. It looked
Right.
like something two-dimensional, three-dimensional
Like a
world.
cardboard
Like,
cutout. Yeah.
but it could be like a long shot. Like there was a man who hung himself in that bathroom. Is it related? Maybe. It could have been anything. But in that bathroom in 1979, Harry Baldwin hung himself. He was one of the he was like the caretaker. So when the place shut down in the 70s, Commissioners didn't want the place to fall, so he was in charge of all of this. And what's crazy, like, this one lady kept blowing our Facebook page up. She's like, I used to live there in the 70s. We're like, no, you didn't. Like, we know, like, from 1979, no one was here. I used to live there for years, and she's describing the rooms. I'm thinking it was just a crazy woman that came on tour and just knew the building.
Yeah.
So Addie was all frustrated. I'm like, just let her show up. I'll talk to her. Anyway, she has me convinced within like a minute that she's telling me the truth. She whips in like real fast in the driveway. She jumps out. She's got the crazy ass hair, and she's like, "I know you don't believe me, but my mom was having an affair with Harry Baldwin." And I'm like, "Oh goddamn!" All right, okay. So I'm just taking it to the face. And she said, and now it all makes sense, that her name's Marsha. She's cool as shit. She had a leg injury. She would be one of the tour guides here. And she said that between 1970 and 79, every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Marsha and her
Oh,
sister
the pizza's coming.
would be here with her mother. Harry and the mother would be down in the caretaker's wing. Marsha and her sister were up here, and this went on for 9 years.
Yeah.
Then in 79, Harry asked Marsha to leave her husband. She'd leave his wife to be a Brady Bunch family. She declined, so out of heartbreak. Because I'm like, where's the motive? Like, why would a maintenance guy, like, it just sounds too weird.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
there's the motive.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There's the
Oh
motive.
my gosh.
Pizza's on the way.
Okay.
Can you just, just point and shoot? I'm just
Point and shoot.
recording. He's telling some good shit. So,
Okay. Gotcha.
I'm gonna go down and wait for that.
Okay.
Thank you, ladies. Yeah.
When was the floor done? Was it recently?
Oh, when Jeff mopped it? Or, oh, you mean the floor downstairs? Oh. Or up here?
No, whatever you guys were talking about up here, put them out.
Oh, yeah, it was last week.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, it does look, okay.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't take long before you can see, yeah, a lot of traffic. But for about 48 hours, it's still got a nice little shot.
Yeah.
This is where you got brushed tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say, is that water?
I can't tell. It's like, it looks wet, but I don't have a hole here. Okay. It's weird. It's weird. There was one time, some of the crew, Kathy, she came up here, and there was a random puddle on the floor, and there were footsteps that came out of it.
Oh my gosh.
And barefoot too. And I'm like, I'm all skeptical. I'm like, okay, someone's playing a joke. There
Yeah.
has to be. But like the puddle's there, and then it formed, and it just stopped. And she took a picture of it. I didn't see it. She sent that picture. I'm like, that's weird. I can't explain that because like we did have rainfall, but like
Yeah, there's no
there's no,
wetness
yeah,
there.
There's no crack. It's weird. You were saying something happened to you up here? Or you were something
Yeah, me. Whenever we were back there, there's somebody that doesn't like men, and they rushed us. You could just feel it,
Yeah.
like
Oh,
the
straight
energy.
ahead?
Yeah,
Yeah,
back
that
there in
room.
the
Yep.
corner.
Yeah, that's funny. We call that the throat punch. We've nicknamed the rooms, right?
Yep.
A girl, I was here when it happened. There were like 4 of us walking out of the room. She was the last in the line, and she said it felt like someone armbarred her throat and fell down. And I'm there, I'm like, again, I'm not trying to be skeptical. I'm like, everyone's like acting and stuff. I'm like, if she was acting, she deserves an Emmy.
Yeah.
Because she's like trying to breathe. I'm like, what happened? She's like, it was crazy. But that happened in that room back in 2016. But then again, every room's like a universe to itself.
Yeah.
You know, like, even before I had it, people were having experiences up here. That's,
Yeah, I don't like that
Yeah.
room.
yeah, that's
I
trouble.
don't like that room at all. But yeah, we were standing like right about here,
And you felt it
and you
rush
could just
out of the door?
feel it come straight out.
No, not good. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, all these rooms, man, like. And it's interesting because the Historical Society said no one was up here and there was like a huge argument over that. I'm like, yeah, there were people up here. First off, you've got your boiler system coming here. This was always just storage, regardless. You wouldn't be heating it. It was just, you go, but you can actually see where there were beds here at one time. You got the marks, smaller beds, 2 beds right here. So this room had 2 beds in it. And when you look around all the rooms, you can kind of see the etch marks where there were beds at one time. So, and then the thing that gets me, like, if you weren't crazy and you were sent here, you'd be trapped in this room for 3 days, right?
You would be crazy.
You'll lose your mind.
Oh, yeah.
The architecture, just what the roof is, everything's so off. Like, if you're claustrophobic, like some of these.
Step in this one. Where's that? Remember we did that up there. Pretty cool.
We call this one, must be some wildlife. I don't know. I don't know what animal makes that noise.
Did you hear a creak? Okay.
Was that a creek? Yeah, I heard that. I wasn't sure if it was an animal or something. But
It
yeah.
sounded like,
Yep,
Yeah.
I heard that. We call it mind warp. Dude, I could give you
Felt like I was on a
7
ship.
different stories
Yeah.
of people. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shelly was here the one night. There was a guy. There was a team of 4, 3 girls and a guy. And the 3 girls went to the Civil War side. They lost him for 3 hours. Like, they didn't know where he was at. Like, you could hide in this building. Finally, they were asking Shelly, they're like, hey, can you help us find our friend? He's not answering his phone. They come up to here, and he's curled in a ball, and he's just crying in there.
Oh, really?
And this was like maybe 3-4 years ago, 3 years ago. But like, he came down, and I'm just a secondhand story. Shelly saw it. He comes down, doesn't say a word to anybody. He like fixes himself up, goes down to base, stands in the base for a second, goes outside, stares at the trees. Everybody's asking him, what happened? What happened? You okay? Then just like for maybe like, I think she said like 2 minutes, just stares at those trees on the porch, doesn't say a word, gets in his car and drives away. Doesn't answer anything. Like,
oh my
no follow-ups.
gosh.
We got no follow-ups. I don't know what happened after that. So
Wow.
then it's like, I don't know. You know, some people talk about stone tape theory. Like, why do some people get affected? Like, if there are emotions staying into the wall and they catch you at the right time with your shields down, you feel that energy, and it could have just caught him. I don't know. I believe it. I've seen enough things happen to people that there's just weird things happening. But one of our volunteers, Trent, if I was going to witness a partial possession, I'm pretty sure he was up on a ladder, we were fixing the ceiling, and this was 10 in the morning. Like, I just walked around the corner for a second to go get something. And he was fine, and all of a sudden, within that minute, I hear like him muttering to himself. He's like, so I'm like, oh, he talks to himself. I do that too. So as I come around the corner here, I was gonna like pop out, like, you talking to yourself? But even before I could do that, the minute I look at him, he's up on the ladder. He's got the hammer, and he's got the metal tool for scooping the drywall, and he's just staring, and his muscles are real tense, and he's just laser beam, and he goes, why won't you let me out of this room? I'm like, holy shit, right? Like, that changed really quick. Now again, I get it, we play games like this sometimes, but this didn't feel right? And I was like, dude, what? And he yells again, why won't you let me out? So I'm thinking to myself, like, I don't think this is a game anymore, because I haven't felt like the chills and the fight or flight feeling. And as I go to him, the one thing that sticks with me forever is he never blinked the whole time. He was on the ladder, it wasn't a big ladder, he's staring at me, his head was facing this position, and as I walked in to grab the hammer and everything off him, his eyes followed me, but his face didn't move. His muscles were tight, like he didn't go like this to look down. And he's all tense. I grab that stuff off of him. I walk him like, dude, let's just get a break. Let's have like a break outside. And he's like, he's hyperventilating. We get down 2 flights as I'm just walking. The whole time I'm just saying, hey, let's just take a break. We're gonna take a break. It's cool, dude. We get down there and he just exhales. And he's like, I'm glad we can take a break. It was getting hot up there. And yeah, no recollection.
Oh.
And to this, and here's the thing, I thought he was faking it for the longest time.
Right.
Because I'm like, he did this because we've got TV shows, he wants to do an interview, whatever. There's sinister things to it, right? But he was here for another like 3 years before they moved to Arizona. Never once, if he was giving you the tour today, never talked about the whole thing. Like others would talk about it. Because you think, wouldn't you have like,
I would say.
right? This is the room, guys. I don't really like talking about it. Never once. And I would watch him, like, he would skip it. I'm like, that's interesting. Like, There's like one time we got to talk about it for something and we had to ask. Other than that, like he would never. So that's why I'm like, yeah, this was real and it really affected you. Yeah.
I
Interesting.
don't like walking on that.
So yeah, I think you guys are gonna have a good night. That's crazy about this. There was a lady, she was like 90, she showed up one time, and she was like appalled that there were stairs here. I was like, I don't understand.
Why? Yeah, right.
Yeah, what's wrong with this? Well, in the 80s, I did find out later, they put this in for fire code, so it's metal. So they had to get rid of the 2 different stairs here. And she talked about when she came here with her aunt back in the day, you would come in through this main archway, no glass, this was all wide open, and you had to enter in through the bottom, and these were all porches to each floor.
Oh, that was.
Right? Like that would
Oh.
change it. It would have been beautiful.
Yeah.
Because you can actually see
Yeah,
it. Like,
absolutely.
not so much in here, but there would have been a parlor door. You can see on the other one where like they put this cement, at least cinder block in, but behind it would have been 2 more doors.
Right, okay.
And that's what you walked out to. And this would have still been a porch. This
Okay.
would have not been here, and you would have came in and down. Yeah.
Oh, I would love
So
to see
I know that, and there was a
that.
cupola, but it got hit by lightning. Like, oh my God, it would be beautiful.